Okay, I want you to picture a scenario. I think every single person listening has been in this exact spot at least once.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You're sitting there, maybe it's late, and you get this lightning bolt idea for an app. It is perfect in your head.
Yep. The $1,000,000 idea.
Totally. Maybe it's a meme generator that actually gets your weird sense of humor, or a personal assistant that organizes your life how you want it organized, not how some giant company thinks you should.
The dopamine is flowing. You can see the interface. You can imagine the 5-star reviews.
Exactly. But then reality hits. You open your laptop, you Google how to build an app, and you just slam right into a brick
A
wall.
wall made of code.
Syntax, brackets, semicolons, error messages that make no sense at all, and the dream just, it dies. It's gone.
That is the execution gap. And for a long time, that gap has been, well, the graveyard of creativity. If you weren't a software engineer, your ideas just stayed ideas.
Well, today, we are taking a sledgehammer to that wall.
Yeah.
We're doing a deep dive into a platform that says it can turn that execution gap into a playground. We're talking about Google AI Studio.
Which has, pretty quietly, become one of the most powerful tools out there over the last year. It sits in this really fascinating spot between, a consumer toy and a full-on developer environment.
And to guide us, we're pulling from a really unique source today. It's a broadcast from the OscarAI show, recorded literally today, January 20th, 2026. The host, Oscar Hernando, is broadcasting from Pasto, Colombia.
I absolutely love the vibe of this source. I mean, usually when we look at tech analysis, it's coming out of a sterile office in Silicon Valley.
Right.
But it's set against the Andes Mountains,
Yeah.
strong coffee, river breezes. It just feels different.
It grounds the conversation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It reminds you this tech isn't just for tech hubs. And Oscar's mission and our mission for this deep dive is to take you from a digital explorer and turn you into an AI superhero.
It's a bold claim, but the source really does back it up. We're going to break down what Google AI Studio is, the science behind why it's so much easier to learn, and then walk through building some real tools.
Including, if I remember correctly, an alien weather reporter.
We will definitely get to the alien weather reporter. That's the final exam.
Okay, let's start with the basics. Democratizing access is a phrase that gets thrown around so much in tech. But what does it actually mean for Google AI Studio?
Well, to get it, you have to look at where we were just a few years ago, say 2023. If you wanted to build with a powerful AI model, not just chat with it,
Right, actually make something.
you had to be a machine learning engineer. You needed API keys, Python environments, servers. It was heavy lifting.
You had to pay the nerd tax before you could even get started.
Precisely. So Google AI Studio, which evolved from an older tool called MakerSuite, it just removed the whole infrastructure layer. You log in with a Google account, and you're immediately connected to their best models, like Gemini.
And what's the barrier to entry? Normally there's a wait list, or you have to drop a credit card.
According to the source, as of early 2026, there isn't one. You log in, you're there, no credit card, no waiting. It's designed as a gateway.
So I go to astudio.google.com. I'm expecting a cockpit with 1,000 confusing dials. What do I actually see?
And that's the smart part. They've stripped it down. Oscar describes 3 main modes: chat, build, and stream.
Okay, chat seems pretty obvious. That's just for talking to it, right?
Yes, but with more control, which we'll get into. Chat is for quick experiments. Then you have build, which is where the magic happens for making apps without code. And stream is the newest part, for real-time voice and video stuff.
Before we start clicking, we have to pick our engine. The source talks about the different Gemini models, and Oscar uses an espresso analogy I thought was perfect.
It really sticks, doesn't it? He says Gemini 1.5 Flash is like a shot of espresso.
Fast and energizing.
Exactly, it's for speed. If your app needs to process tons of text instantly, like scanning 1,000 emails, you want Flash. It's fast, lightweight.
It's the caffeine hit.
Then on the other side, you have Gemini Pro. That's your deep thinker. If you're writing a complex philosophy paper or debugging a legal contract, you go with Pro. It's better at reasoning.
So, the difference between a witty comeback and a doctoral dissertation.
That's a great way of putting it. And just picking the right model is your first lesson in engineering. You don't need a supercomputer to tell a knock-knock joke.
But this is where I want to push back a bit. We've heard the no-code promise for years. Drag and drop your app, and then you hit a wall pretty fast. The source claims this is different, and they actually cite some research.
They do. And this isn't just marketing. The data is from the Journal of Artificial Intelligence Research from 2025. They studied the learning curve on these kinds of platforms.
And what did they find them?
They found that these natural language platforms reduced the learning curve for a total beginner by 50%.
50. That is huge. That's cutting the banging your head against the wall time in half.
And it gets better. Google's own studies showed 70% of beginners got impressive results in their very first session.
Define impressive. Are we talking about making it say, hello world?
No, impressive meant functional prototypes, a working travel planner, a text summarizer, things that actually do something useful.
So why? What's happening psychologically that makes this so much easier to learn than, say, Python?
It comes down to a concept from human-computer interaction, or HCI. The source mentions a Stanford study that found interfaces without code increase user retention by 40%. The key is active learning.
Okay, break that down for us.
Think about learning to code the old way. You spend hours learning syntax, debugging, trying to find a missing semicolon. You are fighting the tool, not working on your idea.
Right, you forget what you were even trying to build because you're so mad at the compiler.
Exactly. When you remove the syntax, you get immediate feedback. You type a sentence, you get a result. That creates a positive loop. You're playing with the logic right away.
It turns it into a game.
And play is where innovation happens. When the cost of failure is zero, you just retype a sentence, you experiment more, you take more risks.
Okay, so we're not going to rage quit. That's good. Let's get into the how-to. Oscar's walkthrough starts in chat mode with something he calls the persona. This is step 1 of prompt engineering.
Yeah.
In the system instructions box, you're not just asking a question, you're defining who the AI is.
And the example he gives is a Colombian tour guide. But not just a generic one.
No, and this is the fun part. He specifies a guide with a Paisa accent who makes jokes about the weather.
Bring a jacket and 3 umbrellas.
Exactly. And this brings up a really important point about AI hallucination. Oscar points out that at first, the AI might suggest a tour to the moon.
A very expensive tour.
Right. But the lesson isn't the AI is broken. The lesson is iteration. You edit the instruction, you add a constraint, only recommend places in the Nariño region. It's a conversation. You guide it.
So once you have the persona, he moves to tuning the engine. This is where we see those sliders on the side. The big one is temperature. This is probably my favorite setting in all of AI. And it's the most misunderstood.
Yeah, temperature makes me think I need a sweater. What does it mean for an AI?
So an AI is essentially predicting the next word in a sentence from a huge list of probabilities. Temperature controls how much risk the AI takes when it picks that word.
Give me an example.
If the temperature is at 0, it's deterministic. It will always pick the most likely word. It's factual, precise, kind of robotic. Ask it the same question 10 times, you get the same answer 10 times.
So for a financial report or a math tutor, I want temperature 0, no creativity.
Exactly. You don't want your bank statement to get creative. But if you turn the temperature up,
Oscar calls it the locurus setting.
the craziness setting, it makes less likely words more probable. It introduces randomness, novelty.
So for our tour guide, we want a higher temperature so he comes up with unique jokes.
Precisely. You want that little bit of unpredictability. It feels more human.
And what about top? It's right next to it.
Top check is how you rein in the chaos a bit. It limits the pool of words the AI can choose from. So if top kick is 40, the AI only considers the 40 most likely words, and then it applies the temperature randomness within that pool.
So it stops it from picking total nonsense.
It's a safety rail for your creativity.
Yeah.
It keeps the craziness on topic.
Okay, we've got our persona, we've tuned the temperature. Now for step 3, build mode. This is where the no-code promise is supposedly delivered.
This is where you use natural language to actually structure an app. The example is just typing, create a task manager that organizes my day by voice.
You just type that sentence, that's it.
You type the intent, and the studio generates the outputs. It creates the structure. And the source says you can get a working demo in about 2 minutes.
He also mentions visual examples, like generating a photo of a volcano with alien AI.
Right, and that's where we start getting into the advanced stuff. The updates from 2025 really pushed what they call multimodality.
Okay, let's define that. Multimodal means
It means the model doesn't just read text. It sees images, it hears audio, it watches video, it understands them just like it understands words.
so in stream mode, I can actually talk to the AI.
You can speak to it, and it can respond with video. Imagine you're building an app to teach history. You could have a digital avatar of Napoleon explaining battle tactics back to you.
That is, wow. That is wild.
It's incredibly powerful for prototyping. You don't need an animation studio, you just need a prompt.
Now, there's one more feature the source highlights that sounds a bit technical, but you said it's the bridge from a toy to a real tool, function calling.
Yes, this is the big one. This is what separates a simple chatbot from an intelligent agent.
Explain it like I'm a smart 12-year-old.
Okay, imagine an AI is a genius locked in a room with no internet. It knows everything from the books it read, but it doesn't know the weather right now.
Or who won the game last night.
Yeah.
It's a static knowledge base.
Exactly. Function calling is like giving that genius a phone. You teach it, if someone asks for the weather, don't guess. Use this phone number, which is an API, to call the weather channel and get the real answer.
So the AI recognizes the user wants the weather and then triggers an external action.
Correct. It pauses, runs the code to get the data, gets the answer, and then wraps it in a polite conversational response. It's not just chatting anymore, it's acting.
It's acting. Wow. It can check your calendar, query a database.
Anything you can connect it to.
And for listeners who do want to code, there's this mention of structured output and JSON. Why is that important?
Because software talks to other software using structured data, like JSON. If you ask a normal chatbot for a list of things, it might give you a nice paragraph. But another program can't easily read a paragraph.
It's just messy text.
Right. Structured output forces the AI to reply in clean code. Key, date, value, January 20. This means you can plug the AI directly into another piece of software, like a component in a bigger machine.
Which brings us to the final step, exporting. Oscar says you're not trapped in AI Studio.
This is the Get Code button. You build your alien weather reporter using plain English, get it working, and then you click one button. The studio generates the Python or Node.js code that does exactly what you just built.
It writes the software for you?
It writes the boilerplate, yeah. It gives you a script you can run on your own.
That feels like the ultimate cheat code for learning to program.
It flips the model. Instead of learning syntax to build something, you build something to learn the syntax. You look at the code it made and go, oh, that's how you make an API call.
The source cites a stat on this. A 60% increase in prototypes created by non-experts in 2025.
And that feature is why. You start with an idea and end with actual deployable code.
All right, so we have the theory, the science, the features. But Oscar doesn't let us off easy. He issues 3 challenges.
The OscarAI challenges, I love these because they're progressive, they ramp you up perfectly.
Let's run through them. Challenge 1, easy mode.
Create a chatbot that tells jokes, specifically Colombian jokes.
Why jokes?
Because humor is hard for an AI. It requires nuance. It tests your ability to use system instructions and temperature. If it sounds like a robot reading a pun book, you've failed. You have to tune it.
Got it. Okay, challenge 2, medium mode.
Build a simple app using build mode like a travel planner and then test it using your voice.
So now you're layering on complexities. You need logic for the trip, plus the multimodality of voice.
Yep. Hey, plan me a trip to the Amazon. Boom. You're testing the whole interaction.
And finally, the boss battle. Challenge 3, advanced.
The alien weather predictor.
I love this.
It puts everything together. You need the persona and alien on Europa. You need the logic predicting weather. But you also need the function calling to connect to a real weather API for a specific place, like Nariño.
So the AI has to stay in character as an alien while fetching real-time data from Earth.
If you can pull that off, you haven't just played with AI. You've built a fully functional API-connected software prototype. And you probably did it in an afternoon.
That's the part that just blows my mind. An afternoon. 5 years ago, that's a team of engineers in a 2-week sprint.
That's the power of these tools.
So zooming out, we've gone from a blank screen to an alien weather reporter. What's the big takeaway for everyone listening?
I think the takeaway is that the very definition of a creator has changed.
How so?
Curiosity is now the only prerequisite for innovation. You don't need a computer science degree. You don't need a server farm. You need to be willing to play.
The source ends with a really provocative thought. He suggests the next huge tech company might not come from Silicon Valley.
No, it might come from a laptop in Pasto, or a cafe in Tokyo, or a bedroom in Ohio. It might come from someone who just decided to see what happens when they slide that temperature slider all the way up to Lucarus.
Because the tools are everywhere now. The machete to get through the jungle is in everyone's hand.
The jungle is open.
So here's our challenge to you, listening right now. Don't just let this be an interesting idea. Go to aistudio.google.com. Log in.
Try the alien weather challenge. Or make that meme generator we talked about at the start.
And just build something. See what
Yeah.
happens. And if your alien tries to send you to the moon,
Just adjust the prompt and try again.
that's part of the fun. Thanks for diving in with us today.
Keep exploring.